Um, it's never a nice feeling when you lose. I mean, obviously you feel bad when you lose, and I mean I've mentioned this before also. I don't connect the two. I don't like to, mix the two together. I like to bat the way I've always batted, and I've after I think a few early games in my career, I haven't really, sat down and remembered when, there's been a crunch situation and I've played a bad shot, might get a good ball, or I've always tried to capitalize every situation for the team and make it stronger. And as a batsman, I always aim to do that. So I think it's me getting 4 centuries in 4 games is irrelevant to me becoming captain. I think I've always had that sort of mindset and hunger to go out there and score runs. Coincidentally, it's happened that I've got same number of hundreds in same number of games, but I would rather have the team perform well and win the games rather than get frustrated that as a batsman I'm getting runs but we're not getting the results. So the main thing is you work towards the result that the team wants, and in that process if you get runs, obviously it is a good feeling, but I would like it to be in a winning cause. Yeah, yesterday the wicket looked pretty different. I just had a look. It looks pretty different now. Should be a pretty hard surface. That's what we always get in Sri Lanka. The last time I saw Pakistan play against Sri Lanka here, the ball was carrying through nicely and the wicket had something for the fast bowlers. So we'll have to sit and figure out. We have bringing in Stewart gives us that extra option of a third seamer. If the wicket is a bit helpful, Stuart Binney becomes very handy, and that's the main reason of bringing him in. To give us more balance in the squad. And the wicket, I think we'll have to have a look tomorrow morning as to how the wicket behaves, and you need to make a call on the bowling attack, thinking about how the wicket will turn out to be during the course of the game. You just can't get excited on the first day and play a certain combination and then feel like maybe you should have played someone else. So these things need to be looked at. So we will keep all our options open and have a look at the wicket tomorrow. As of now, it looks pretty hard. You need to look at his batting abilities are improving of what I've seen. Especially, I saw him bat in the games in Zimbabwe. I've seen him bat in England. Once he gains confidence, he is a pretty solid batsman. He's got good technique as well. And as I said, if the wicket's a bit helpful or you need control through the innings, Stewart comes in handy in those situations. And every team around the world, if you have a look, they have a spinning all-rounder and they have a fast bowling all-rounder. So Stewart is the best in that particular category right now of seaming all-rounders. So we need to give him more chances, more confidence, and groom him so that we can use him at any stage to provide balance to the team. So I think Stewart brings a lot to the table. It's just about him getting more confident in his abilities. As a batsman, I think he's become more confident. As a bowler, he will certainly improve with more games that he plays, and the more he's given those spells. So I think it's all about making him grow as an all-rounder, and I see him giving great balance to the Indian team in future. See, I was personally very disappointed because you can sense as a batter, when things are getting a bit too much under pressure, or people are not able to express themselves. And I knew that before I went into bat, and I really wanted to make a difference with my batting abilities to go out there and express myself. So if we get a few runs, the situation will ease out. So I was very disappointed on that front, that understanding the situation and what needs to be done, I tried to do what needs to be done, but it didn't come off. So I was pretty disappointed, with that particular situation. But what I learned is that communication is very important. What happens is, when there is a pressure situation, batsmen tend to go into their shell and they don't communicate as much, which I think is a very important part of batting out there. Batting in partnerships doesn't only mean scoring runs together. I think it means, motivating your partner, understanding his game, giving him options to tackle certain situations. I think that's what partnership is to me. So that's one thing I understood, and that's one thing we spoke about as well. That communication needs to happen. People need to speak. Sometimes you want to express something, you might get a solution, but unless you speak, you will not get a solution back from your partner. Nothing. I was trying to get a feedback. We tried something at practice yesterday. So I was trying to get a feedback from every batsman how they liked it. We had a few discussions. That in nets, probably 2-3 days before the game, we should do experimental practice. Doing the same things over and over again, you're not really improving as a batter. And as a team, we talk about playing as a team. So why not practice as a team? So we had this idea of batting in pairs, motivating the other guy, and really looking for those ones after every 5 or 6 balls. So I think that intent was very important to improve on, and the guys loved it. I mean, they were focused on what the game requires rather than thinking about the wicket seaming and the ball swinging too much. So it was just about getting their head clear and away from something that might pressurize them, and the guys loved it. So I was just getting feedback from each and every bat. That guys need to be more brave. It's very easy to go into a negative space very quickly. Teams that stay in a positive space, or individuals that stay in a positive space in particular situations, they turn the game around, and those are match winners. In all teams across the world. If you see a Dale Steyn, if you see a Mitchell Johnson, if you see Ben Stokes, what he did in the Ashes previously, just now. Guys can come in at the end of the day when they're tired and down and get you that 3-wicket spell, just because they believe that they can make it happen. So I think we've touched upon those areas, rightly as you mentioned, and that is certainly an area of concern, because we've been on the verge of victory so many times away from home. We've dominated tests, we've batted really well, we've bowled well, and suddenly, one situation which we really failed to capitalize is costing us games. So that's a very good question actually, and that's something we have been speaking about as a team. So you can, as I said again, you can mention things, you can put it out there, but I cannot bowl for a particular guy. A particular person cannot bat for me. When I'm out there in the middle, it's up to me what I decide to do or what my mental frame is like. So I think that needs to be improved on individually.